Our vision at Waite Church is to be a community where we can find life, share life, and give life. Our small group ministry is a huge part of how we want to accomplish that. So much so that one of our most driving convictions for our small group ministry is that life is meant to be shared. While this sounds great and looks great on a postcard, to us it's much more than a tagline. I've heard it said recently that if you were able to pull back the fabric of reality, you would see behind everything a God at work in community. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit working together, glorifying one another together, and existing together in perfect unity. This same God made us in His image. Part of what it means to be made in the image of God is that we are made to exist in community. When Adam was created, God was the first to admit that He alone wasn't enough for Adam. When we say that life is meant to be shared, it's not a platitude or a tagline or feel-good sentiment. We mean it, and we're doing something about it. Our small group ministry will be guided by three main values: word, worship, and friendship. Our first core value is word. As Christians, we believe that the Bible is God's holy word. It perfectly reveals God's plan for His people and how to live out that plan. We also believe that the Bible is a means of grace. And what we mean when we say that is it's one of the most common ways that God speaks to us and shapes us. We also believe that the scriptures aren't meant to be read, experienced, and understood in a strictly private matter, but that even more so, they're meant to be experienced in community. Our second core value is worship. We believe that worship ought to be the posture of our lives. Paul says that we are to offer ourselves as living sacrifices to God in true worship to Him. And in other places, the scriptures tell us to be filled with the Holy Spirit by speaking to one another with psalms, hymns, and spiritual songs. We recognize that what's born of the flesh is flesh, and what's born of the Spirit is spirit. And we want our small group ministry to be a work of the Spirit and not just human effort. Our third core value is friendship. At the end of the day, programs, strategies, or systems can never compete with the value and effectiveness of friendship. Communities alone are powerful, but especially so when they're imbued with the Holy Spirit. The Bible tells us that Jesus was a friend of tax collectors, sinners, and fishermen. And that friendship shocked religious people, exploded worldviews, and turned Rome upside down, and it ultimately changed the world. Friendship sharpens us as iron sharpens iron. Friendship picks us up when we fall down. The scriptures have a lot to say about the value of godly friendship. Our small groups will begin this year on October 16th. We'll have 7 small groups meeting in homes throughout the city, and even a few meeting on church property. Some of our small groups will be family friendly, meaning your children are welcome to come and be a part of those meetings. Some might provide childcare, while others might allow individuals to find their own solution for childcare. We'll have multiple opportunities throughout the year for people to join small groups or start small groups. And we'll also have opportunities for people to leave their small group and either join another one or take a break from small group ministry. We know that lives change, and our ability to commit to certain things on certain days of the week also changes. So finding a small group community that works for you is an important process, and we want to make that process as easy and as enjoyable as possible. Our small group leaders are currently sending out invitations. If you haven't received an invitation yet, it's okay. Get in touch with the office by sending us an email or giving us a phone call, and make sure that we have your correct contact information. Also, just because you're invited to a small group doesn't mean you have to join that particular small group. If for some reason the small group that you're invited to doesn't work for you or lands on the wrong day of the week, then email me or the office and let us know. Next Sunday, October 9th, you'll be able to sign up to a small group yourselves in the lobby by our small group banner if you're not already connected with one. Life is meant to be shared. The staff and leadership at Waite Church wholeheartedly believe that. And so we're making small groups a priority, and we hope that you do too.